MMAOddsBreaker Frank Trigg, Ryan Bader getting ready to fight Ovince St. Preux. I actually was there when you basically made this matchup. It was in Vancouver. You kind of just said, I guess you two kind of knew the winner of your fight versus the winner of his fight were going to end up meeting up anyway. Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, basically, he fought, one of my teammates, Ryan Jimmo, and it just kind of made sense for me where, I couldn't think of anybody else who didn't have fights lined up at that time or weren't injured that were around that top 10 kind of status. And with both of us coming off wins in that fight and both healthy, it just made sense. So kind of made that matchup right then and there.
But it's 2 months later. Like, you just went through a 2-month training camp.
Yeah.
You get like 5 days off, and you're back in training camp again.
Yeah, I took 2 weeks off.
Okay.
1 week totally, not doing anything. The other week, just a little cardio here and there. And, I started about 7 weeks, to the fight. Started going hard. My cardio was already there. I felt good right away. I'm feeling good right now. And so, for me, it's if I'm healthy and I have the ability and the mindset to go 2 camps back to back, I'd rather do that and get those fights out of the way. It's so it feels like I was just in the cage. There's a lot less nervousness if you don't have that long layoff. You feel good. You feel sharp. I never missed a beat really, so I kind of like those. So it worked out perfectly.
And obviously the pay is the same if you fought this second fight in 6 months, in a year, or fought it right now in 2 months. So yeah, it kind of does make sense. You've already gone through it. Get it done.
If you can get through that, those tough 4 months, 4+ months, and then I can relax a little bit afterwards. Having a baby in September, so it worked out perfectly. Fighting in mid August, and my mind was there. I was ready to go right after the Fejal fight, and I was healthy, most importantly. So why not? Why not jump back in there and just keep it rolling?
What does this victory do for you? If you beat OSP by decision, what happens?
Yeah.
What does it do for
you? For me, it's momentum, and putting. I was kind of rotating those wins and losses, and for me, it's kind of letting me know I'm doing the right things, and there'll be 3 fights in a row that I've won and keeping it rolling. I'm looking to go out there and finish OSP. I think I definitely can. My last fight, fighting a dangerous guy like Fejal, I had to kind of play a different game. I didn't want to stand up and strike with him and bang with him the whole time. He hits hard. He's very dynamic. So I wanted to shut everything he does well. I wanted to shut down. Feel like I did that, got the win, and moving on to the next one to main event in Maine, fighting tough, athletic, dynamic kind of guy in OSP. He's I don't feel he's really great at one thing, but he's just overall good at kind of everything. He has a strong kick. He's decent on his feet, throws hard. He's a decent wrestler, decent jiu-jitsu guy, but I don't think he's really great at one thing.
He's also difficult to train for because you saw him with Jimmo. He throws these weird angles. He does weird submissions. Like the Kimura lock everyone's like, oh, it broke right away. The ref, I forget who the ref was standing right over him, didn't even see it happening when it was happening because it was such a weird angle that you don't know what's going to happen. Is it tough to train for a guy like that? It's going to throw.
Yeah, a little bit. I've been training for those guys, for a long time. Fought best in the world, and each guy has its own, difficult, thing to kind of get in there and train for. But with his last fight, he kicks hard. That's what broke Ryan Jimmo's arm. He didn't realize his arm was broken until he posted up, and then he took that little Kimura lock, whatever he had, out, but it was his other arm that was broken, and so he realized that when he posted up. And so I got to be. He's very good at scrambling and getting out of different positions, and he's long, he's lanky, he's strong in those positions. So that's what you got to worry about. Getting in a position and having him throw his hips over, whatever. But I've seen that. Day in and day out, and with wrestlers.
I was going to say that's part of your style. That's part of your game was winning the scrambles. When you were competing in college, that was your favorite position was you would start a scramble to win the scramble. That's how you would score points. This kind of feeds into your game. So on paper, this fight looks like it should be 2 bipolar opposites: the tough, strong, can strike wrestler versus the athletic ex-football player that's long and lanky. But then if you dive into it, all of a sudden it's like how the fight breaks out. It's actually leaning in towards your favor.
Yeah, just obviously a fight's a fight, and I don't like, I come in confident, but I just feel I'm better in every aspect. I feel, I'm a little sharper in the stand-up area. I hit harder. My wrestling / jiu-jitsu is better. and I have the ability to take him down if it's not going my way on the feet, or keep it up, or mix it up. What I've been doing the last couple fights, and he does hit hard, he kicks hard, and he's pretty wild, and so that's always a concern because people don't react right and they just throw a punch out of nowhere and you can get caught with it. So I just got to be smart, in this fight and watch out for those kind of things. But if I put it together, I just feel that I'm kind of just better in every little aspect.
Okay, last question, or last. It's gonna be. I say last question, but because of the way you're gonna answer, it's gonna be like 12 more after it.
No problem. No problem.
Gustafson hurt his knees out.
Yep.
So DC's in. We're wrestlers. We're all picking the wrestler. We're picking the more celebrated wrestler. Obviously, John Jones, a wrestling background as well. We're all picking DC. I'm assuming you're picking DC as well in that fight. Okay, so it's pretty much it's across the board. Every wrestler that wrestled at a high level, whether it was just college or college or moved on to the opens, everyone's picking DC because he's the better wrestler. Even there's a length disparity. More importantly, you knock out OSP. And it's a dynamic. And for me, it seems like the rankers, if you win decisively, you jump a lot higher than if you just win by decision. No matter, even if the guys, I'm just making stuff up. You're 20, he's 5th, and you beat him by decision, they're only going to move you to 18. You knock him out, they're moving up to 4. It's really weird how that happens. You knock OSP out. How close are you now to all of a sudden being in that title hunt with a decisive victory over OSP? And remember, you may not remember because you're not a guy that goes back. You look at your old fights, but you probably don't remember your record as much as everybody else does. You're jumping on a 2-fight win streak with a hiccup at Glover Teixeira, and then before that you beat Vladimir Nishenko. Then before that you lose to Lyoto Machida, and before that you're basically on this rampage, like you're running through everybody. Where does this with momentum? You're now going to win 3 fights in a row. If you knock them out, it's 2 decisions and a knockout, or 2 decisions and a finish. Where's this going to put you in line for the title?
Yeah, I think I'll be up there around that, kind of maybe hopefully top 5, maybe 6 kind of ish. With that momentum, it'll 3 in a row. I think OSP has the record right now at 4 in a row in the light heavyweight division, is the most besides John Jones. For me, going out there, and I want to go out there and finish this fight. And it'll put me where I want to be. And for me, I feel like I'm just getting to that point where I'm comfortable. I have all the skill sets now. I'm continuing to work to get better. But I feel like the fighter I am now would beat the guy I was, that fought Nogueira or whatever, on that long win streak. I definitely feel that way. And, and so I feel like now is the time, for me to make that run. It wasn't back then. And I would have paid for it, and I did, with not beating those high-level guys, those top 3 kind of guys. So, for me, there's always going to be a little, around the belt, there's always going to be 3 or 4, 2 or 3 guys that are, next in line or whatnot. Because what happens when Gustafson comes back? Is he going to get somebody else, or is he going to get an automatic, a rematch with Jones or DC? And then you got to look at DC and Jones. If DC wins, more likely Jones is going to get a rematch. So that's all congested. And so for me, it's kind of just keeping my head down and just knocking these guys off. But I expect if I go out there and finish him to fight a top 5, top 6 kind of guy that's open right now.
Could you chael someone your way into a title shot by winning this fight decisively and just talking a mad amount of noise and just getting yourself where the fans have no choice, but where the fans like you so much that the UFC has no choice to put yourself in that space? Are you getting that close now? You can talk yourself into it.
I mean, probably another fight. I'm not that guy anyway. And like I said, it's so congested up there. There's a few guys like a Rashad is out. A couple guys are Nogueira is fighting, and for me, it's just kind of just knocking these guys off and winning. That's what's going to get me there. Maybe after a next fight when I beat a guy ranked higher than me, as far as like a top 5 guy, then I can I'm right there, and whatever happens, I can step in for somebody injured like DC did or anything like that for a title. But for me, it's not about talking. It's about just going out there and doing my job, win these fights, and that'll get me there. And I think I can do it that way.
Well, it's been showing. You've just been doing it. And even in when you have your hiccups, your losses, it's still like you're not out of the game. Even though you did get caught by Glover, he did TKO you, but it still wasn't like you were completely out of the game. You got caught. And it's one of those situations It was a beautiful punch. I mean, it was an amazingly good punch. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, Ryan,
Damn
damn
it.
it, damn it. It's good.
Oh,
But you like,
I know.
you just gotta accept this. It's one of those things. It's like it happened, and that's how it goes. You get up and you move on.
Yeah.
You seem to be okay. Like you seem to be all right with this back-to-back training camp. You seem to be like you're excited. Your eyes are bright. You know, you're don't have that when we first start, because most people don't know that we talk a little bit before we even start interviewing. You're not sore, and I don't have to talk you into the interview to get you ready. Like I have to sometimes. I've had to talk you into it because you're sore, you're beat up. The kid, is screaming in the background. You just ate. You're just trying to wind down.
Yeah. You know what it is too? It's I'm excited. I'm excited the way everything's coming together. I'm talking about that momentum. I'm a 2-fight win streak. I feel like I'm putting all of my best attributes together, fight wise, like style wise. And for me, this is like the first kind of fight that there's nervousness here and there when you think about it, but it's excitement too. I want to be in the cage right before they're going to announce our names and start that fight. Whereas other times you're always thinking, I got another week here. I can relax kind of and do my training, but not have to think about that fight. I'm thinking about that fight, wanting to be in that fight right now. So that's just it's something new for me, and it's exciting for me. And so training for this is it's fun right now, even though I've been doing it for a while now, 3.5 months in. So I just feel I'm in a great place mentally right now.
Right, it looks good on this end. I can't tell what's happening at home and what happens when you take the makeup off and shut the camera down. I don't know what happens then, but I'm telling you what, it looks good. It's the best I've seen you. But I will say that I've also, just prior to this, I interviewed OSP, and he looks just as good. Like he is also the same way. This fight is going to be, every time you fight, I get excited anyway.
Yeah.
But then I interviewed him, and I'm like, wow, he's really ready for this fight. And I knew you would be too, whether you showed it or not on camera.
Yeah.
This fight is going to be a great fight, and it's beyond worthy of being a main event on a fight night. It is. This is going to be an incredible main event. And
I think we both have good styles that kind of they match up really well. And I think it's definitely going to be an exciting fight. And he wants to step into another level in that top 10 and start fighting those higher ranked guys. And I know he wants it bad, but so do I. I feel like I'm back in his position now, a young guy coming in to the UFC. Although this is going to be my 14th or so fight in UFC, I have that rejuvenation that I think is making me work hard in training camp and making me want to be in that cage and I feel like I want August 16th to be here tomorrow.
The other thing too that excites me about this fight is that there is no shit talking. You guys are two humble, athletic, respectful martial artists, and you're coming at this fight from a business standpoint. Hey, it's just we have to fight. We've got to meet up. There's no hatred. I don't need to get myself mad at this guy to fight. We're just going to fight. And you both are so respectful towards each other. It's great to see because there's been a lot of back and forth talking between a lot of these main events now. A lot of back and forth. Yeah, I get they're trying to sell fights.
Yeah.
But it's becoming to the point where it's tiresome. Everybody's trying to sell a fight so much.
Yeah.
Your anti-sell and OSP's anti-sell is actually better for me, at least as a fan, for my style of fan towards a fight, because I just want to see two guys fight and go out there and just bring it and bang each other up. And at the end of it, I lost. I owe the beer. Like you beat me. I got to buy the beer now. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were there at the press conference, and he was a nice guy, and we kind of knew we were fighting, and we were talking. It was just, he's a good guy, and I'm not going to make up anything and start shit talking out of nowhere. It's not my style, and I don't usually do it anyway. But at the end of the day, we're going to fight, so it doesn't matter. We're going to settle that, at a certain day or night, and then it's going to happen. It's going to be over. So why go through all the hoopla before? I get it to sell the fight, but I have no animosity towards him, and kind of vice versa. So we're just going to have fun in there.
That's Ryan Bader fight OSP coming up here on April 16th, UFC Fight Night in Bangor, Maine, of all places in Bangor.
No kidding.
But, it is what it is. It's where they put it. So, hey, thanks for coming here, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Anytime, make you have fun.
I know it's tough and a training camp, but remember, your wife's pregnant, and so she's got a big load going on. So, be a little bit nicer than you normally would
be. Not to be grumpy.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. It's training camp.
It is, I know.
But it's definitely going to be worth it. I'm glad that you're going to be done with your fight and able to be at home
and
off when the baby's born. So you technically get a little maternity leave for yourself, because I know you're going to take it and stay home with the baby and make sure your wife's okay.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you.
That's the best. And I'll try not to bother you as much after the baby's born.
No, you're good, buddy. Thank you. Anytime.
I expect pictures, though, for sure, like from, You know, from the after it's wiped up and wrapped up, from then on, just start sending.
From then on, yeah, not before.
Yeah, please, no.
It's slow, yeah.
Thanks, man. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye.